So the mirror-like wisdom of the Lama's mind, in which blossoms the mandala of the objects of knowledge of the three times, neither increases nor decreases. These qualities or wisdoms are achieved by the practicing of the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is a relative bodhicitta, absolute bodhicitta. So the relative bodhicitta, as we have went just this during the Guru Yoga, Vajra Guru Yoga, these practices very comprehensive, and then in their bodhicitta involves the 6 perfection practices called 6 paramitas: practice of the generosity, morality, patience, and then perseverance, meditative concentration, and wisdom, awareness. The special wisdom is realization of the Mahamudra, emptiness. So seeing everything as a nature of the emptiness, within that emptiness, all the causalities are manifest distinctively. So that knowing that emptiness allows us not to attach to anything, not grasping anything. So not grasping anything is which allows you to reach your wisdom mind to all the objects. Because when we are attached to, then that makes the limit our mind limited, because you're attached to that. Your mind cannot expand further. When there's no attachment, your mind is free. When your mind is free, then it can reach to all the knowledge, you see. So that's why we practice. We practice this with all the different supports. We contemplate the impermanence. Nothing lasts long. Then look at the suffering of the samsara. So when you see the impermanence changing while I'm talking, while I'm saying things just changing, moment to moment changing. Within that changing takes place according to the cause and condition we created. See? So that's how it is changing. So when we say, I hope next time will be better, that hoping is good, positive, but we have to create the cause. Seeing the causality nature, and we have to create a positive cause, that which would explain details. So then, as we hoped for, and then we create the cause for that, a better, then that's what it happens. Also to free from samsara is also that. We have to create the cause to free from samsara. So that that wisdom, the compassion, the bodhicitta, that is the principal method. It's the highway towards the enlightenment. Buddha, say, our historical Buddha, when he was on the way to Buddhahood as a Bodhisattva, he saw the bodhicitta is the highway, a consummate. It is the indispensable path towards the enlightenment. To get benefit for yourself, and to benefit others, and to attain complete enlightenment. So that says we should keep that in our mind. Bodhicitta, past. Then, what kind of causes we need to give rise to bodhicitta, and then to keep the bodhicitta, and then to increase the bodhicitta. See, this is very important. As yesterday I mentioned, Buddhism is peaceful. Nowadays people say Buddhism is a peaceful religion. No, it's kind of it's a good example in the world now, everywhere. Of course, the individual will have some problems. It's because what? Because the Buddhism is because of our limitation. But otherwise, in the Buddhist teaching, never tell you kill people, you steal, you tell lie, in the teaching, never tell us. What we do is not because of the religion, but because we couldn't practice our own limitation. So that's why Buddhism has a good reputation because of bodhicitta. Not because of the emptiness. So bodhicitta. So that practice of bodhicitta, then we achieve this wisdom, the mirror-like wisdom of the Lama's mind, in which blossoms the mandala of the objects of knowledge. So then, from that bodhicitta, practicing bodhicitta, then comes the 6 parameters. No? 6 parameters we practice to polish the bodhicitta, to make bodhicitta better, stronger, more access in the activities. Activities means bodhicitta becomes stronger. That means our delusions are less. Negative thoughts are less. And less that way. So Buddha, as I mentioned, who's on the way, when I was as a Bodhisattva, saw the bodhicitta. It's the total, absolute method to attain Buddhahood or to benefit sentient beings. See? So that, say, as I mentioned, Lord Jigten Sumgön, who achieved that bodhicitta, totally, complete, actualized, and manifest activities from within that state, from within that dimension. That's why he could gather hundreds and thousands of disciples. Not because of his magic power. No, magic power is, I think, flying aeroplane is really great magic, isn't it? We don't see now it's like a normal, but if you see, if somebody is not seeing the aeroplane, they see the first time, their eyes will become so big, oh, something's flying in the sky, wow, that is a miracle power. Like you call, you dial, and goes direct to other continent. It's magic. How in the world you cannot talk on the horn, there's nothing in between, so you can reach to other continent. It's magic. But that, see, it's not really absolute source of peace and happiness. See, sometimes you get bad news, from other continent, so it's become source of suffering, Always bodhicitta, always nothing but a source of wisdom, source of courage, source of peace, for oneself, for other, for now, for the enlightenment. So because to polish the bodhicitta, you have to study this. What is about? What means generosity practice? What's there in there? Means these practices, all these practices, first of all, we should have the good understanding. This is a joyous practice. Practice of generosity means joyous practice. You give something joyfully. That becomes practice of generosity. If you have to give something which you don't like, so, I have to give. I have no choice. I don't like it. Then it doesn't become practice of generosity. People won't say you are generous. You smile to it's a practice of generosity. Because you are happy. That's why you can smile. If you're crying, how you can smile? Same thing, practice of morality. You keep your moral ethics joyfully. Something to become a better person, better human being. Protect yourself. To protect yourself, practice the morality. So not engage these negative activities. The best practice of protection. So all those practices come a joyous practice, joyous journey towards enlightenment. So that's why when you do those practices like patience, you practice patience, joyfully. Even though sometimes not easy, but in the minds, I'm so fortunate, I must do this because it's a better time. If I don't engage this, go to the wrong path, I will suffer. Which I don't like. So let's practice patience and perseverance as well. Meditating, calming your mind. Sometimes you don't like it, but you do it because you know it's good for you. So wisdom, of course, no need to mention. So these 6 paramitas are the practice to purify all obscurations. Then one achieves this mirror-like wisdom. And you get the full benefit. And then you can help others, so many sentient beings. Like at the time of Jigten Sumgön, as is mentioned here, thousands and millions of the practitioners went there. Nobody forced them. They just wanted to ask, you come. Or there's somebody said just chasing, that everyone joyfully, happily just went there. So when I can see that great teacher, what kind of teachers I need? Receive from that practice, and you practice joyfully. So all the environment becomes so positive. It's because of the bodhicitta. So one person makes that kind of big difference, you see. So when it's fully developed, infinite way, then there's nothing to decrease, nothing to increase. That's what it's called. Neither increases nor decreases, you see. When you see this, since even the Buddhas of the 10 traditions and the 3 times could never fully relate the life of the Father and the Lord of the world. Could not never fully relate. It doesn't mean these Buddhas, they cannot, they don't know Jigten Sumgön's life story. What they say is they have no time. Even they express for hundreds and hundreds of years, still cannot finish. That's what they say. As yesterday I mentioned the example of the giant eagle. Suppose a giant eagle or jet set flies from this planet and just go on and on and on. Then after some time, it will return. It returns because now there's no further space or sky to fly, or it returns because it's exhausted. It's returned because it's exhausted. No fuel, giant eagle is exhausted. Likewise, see, as mentioned in Mathematical Avatara, the Chandrakirti's text, intersection of the Buddhahood tradition. Even Buddha himself expressed Buddha's qualities for 100 kalpas, said could never finish. Because no limit. So we have to understand that, you see. If you don't understand this, that is, this is exaggerating. Why Buddha cannot relate to the life story of Jigten Sumgön? That's very strange, But if you know information pieces from here, there, then you can understand what it means. So this even if they were to describe it for kalpas, how it could be expressed by the bodhisattvas of the ten bhumis, like Lord Manjushri, to say nothing of others. So therefore, we see Jigten Sumgön, as we have discussed other few times, how we attain Buddhahood. Even in that lifetime, he was born, he studied through many great teachers, just spent full attention in the study, and then dedicated fully in the retreat, and then purify all those creations, and then everybody knows how he practiced. At that time, it becomes obvious that he attained enlightenment. It's not something out of blue, say this is a Buddha, Not that. But step by step, made the journey towards the enlightenment. And then achieve these qualities. And then it becomes obvious to all the disciples that time. If I say one account, there was one great teacher, a great scholar, I should say, who's expert, well scholarship in the sutra, tantra practice. He belonged to other school. But then when you heard Jigten gathers hundreds of thousands of disciples, and where he taught teachings, some terminologies are little kind of unusual. Not to known to regular individuals. That scholar was stumbled. He hesitated. How it could be he's using these terminologies and gathering all hundreds of thousands of disciples. Maybe he's deceiving. No. So he could not resist. I must go and ask questions, see whether he's authentic teacher or not. So from these sutras and tantras teaching texts, he kind of made himself very difficult questions, seven tough questions that he kept in his mind. He prepared that, and then he made journey. So that next day when he was going to see Jigten Sumgön, so that is the next day, he's coming to see Jigten Sumgön. That day, Jigten Sumgön said to his attendant, tomorrow somebody is coming, so don't stop him, let him come. So then he came. He went to the attendant and said, I want to see Jigten Sumgön. Can I see him? And his attendant said, oh yes, of course, please come in. So prepared the seat and the tea. And Jigten Sumgön sat on the throne. So Jigten Sumgön welcomed him, so welcome, where you are coming from, how long it took time you to get here, these things, discussion, and what kind of you have studied, So they made into conversation, discussions. In between that, when they're going through discussions, all the questions he had, without needing to ask, he answered all his questions. And at that moment, that's called mirror-like wisdom, you see, reflected all is going on in his mind. And that moment, without any doubt, totally developed devotion, said this is the actual Buddha. So he was the one that he wrote. We have a special text called Teaching the heart of the heart essence of the Mahayana teaching. A complete lamrim. Both sutra and tantra. Very precious teaching. When you go through that text, the quotations of Buddha and Indian Nagarjuna, that whole book is full of quotations. And you can imagine how he could do this. Unless otherwise you have memorized all the Buddha's teaching, the writings of the great Panditas, masters like Nagarjuna. So such kind of person came to Jigten Sumgön and asked those tough questions, without needing to ask, answered all those. It's not a mythical, sometimes it looks like a little mythical. That's how that can happen, But who has this kind of wisdom, ability, by the perfection of the bodhicitta, you can see. So those kind of great bodhisattvas like the 8, 10 booming bodhisattvas, when they come, ask questions, Jigten Sumgön has the ability to answer their questions, and he has the ability to establish them to the Buddhahood. And so there's now here, so I don't need to read all those things. We just need to develop such a strong devotion. See as a Buddha, and then practice Guru Yoga. Take this your root Guru. And practice. So then the next is it here, next paragraph. I can't comprehend the Father's life, but to increase the devotion of the follower. This is the now start today, isn't it? We have been touched this yesterday. So I cannot comprehend the Father's life. So as Chen-nga Sherab Jungne mentioned, even Buddhas of the 3 times cannot relate fully. Even the Bodhisattvas, the 10 women like Manjushri cannot. So how I can? You see now. But to increase the devotion of the followers in the future, like us. No? You see, 800 years ago, such teacher came, who has that kind of wisdom, compassion, had benefited. So we're so fortunate following his teachings. No? So future, what I've said will be activity for that time. See now, you are who are understanding this, getting benefit, you see. He is the leader of all premortal Buddhas of the 10 directions. This is as yesterday we went. The king, Drikung Kagyu, gave birth to 1,001 princess. And then he enlightened the Buddha called Nagarjuna and taught the teachings. All those are the Buddhas of the future. So he produced all those Buddha. Now they're saying he's the leader of all the premortal Buddhas of the 10 directions. In the 10 directions, in the past, present, and future, with authentic presence, that glorious great Vajra empowers and conquers the supreme enjoyments, genuineness, and quality of life of samsara and nirvana. He conquers the supreme enjoyment, genuineness, and quality of the life of samsara, means total, perfected. Nothing is missing. No? He extracts the essence of the Tripitaka. See? You know Tripitaka? The Vinaya, the Sutra, and Abhidharma. So that's called Tripitakas. So all the Buddha teachings included into these Tripitakas. So he extracted all those teachings, brought together and taught the teachings. And then this next let us see. And reveal the vitality of the 4 classes of Tantra. Action Tantra, the first action, then Kriya Tantra, Saraya Tantra, behavior or conduct Tantra, action Tantra, conduct Tantra, and then Yoga Tantra, and Anuttara, the highest Yoga Tantra. These 4 classes of Tantra. All the meaning of those 4 classes put into in one essence. See, vitality of the 4 classes of Tantra. Although he clearly perceives the qualities of samsara and nirvana, he continues to investigate their nature. Like this, if I say the 5-fold paths he put together. Fivefold path. First is the bodhicitta, love, compassion, and bodhicitta, which is the complete essence of the whole sutra system. There is the Vinaya, there is the sutra, there is the Abhidharma. All the three trainings, training, the wheel, all the teachings that the Buddha taught 3 times as a training are included there. Bodhicitta. And then Tantra, the second is called Tantra, deity yoga practice. All the 4 classes of Tantra teachings are there. Second. Third is the 4 Kaya Guru Yoga, as we are doing those Guru Yoga, which is both Sutra and Tantra. So you see the Guru or the Buddha, Nirmanakaya Buddha, Sambhogakaya Buddha, Dhammakaya Buddha, Saubhagakaya Buddha. See that through their practices you get a complete understanding of the Buddha's qualities. Fourth, Mahamudra itself. How to come about it, how to achieve the samadhi. And by having the samadhi, then the special insight. The combination of in Tibet is called Shine and Lakton, the Shamatha and the Vivasana, which is a Mahamudra, to see the real nature of the samsara and the nirvana in the inseparable. Their nature is indivisible. Then the fifth, dedication. And full dedicate. All through these all practices you put together, that energy, the power, whatever you have created, you dedicate fully to all sentient beings. So that's why it's called. This is what he's saying here. All these teachings that he is the essence of all those teachings extracted and then passed down to his disciple to attain Buddhahood in one lifetime. See? You see the way he taught the teachings. Then when you face problems, physically sick or mentally disabled or confused, if you have these practices, suppose you have done these practices, then first look at the obstacles, look at the suffering, what you have. Then look at the suffering of all the sentient beings of this samsara. Then you utilize my small suffering, be sufficient to purify all the suffering of the sentient beings. May my obstacle be sufficient to take care of all the obstacles of the sentient beings in the world, in the samsara. Just very sincerely, devotionally. And with this, then you say, may everyone have happiness, peace. May everyone free from suffering. And simply may I attain Buddhahood, or may I establish them to the enlightenment. So you develop the bodhicitta with that, you see. With that bodhicitta mind, then you manifest into the deity, like Chandrasik, like Tara, or Vajra, or Chakra-samvara, whatever you have. You manifest in that form. That form is nothing but bodhicitta. Its appearance and the emptiness inseparable. With that, your mind is inseparable to Guru, the Buddha, the Buddha's, that Guru Vajra in your heart or on the crown of your head is inseparable with your mind, and that Guru is also inseparable of the Buddhas of the three times. See? With that, all the nature is emptiness, Mahamudra. See how skillfully designed to practice this. Then with that, you dedicate whatever through this practice merit you accumulated. Just fully dedicate for all sentient beings' enlightenment. So there's no any, you see, no any say, obstacles, suffering exists that which cannot transform, which cannot be purified. That's how Jigten Sumgön designed to his disciple how to practice. He said, go to retreat, as yesterday mentioned, Mount Kailash, Lapchi, Tsari, go to those holy places and then practice. All teachings that I talk to you now. Don't waste your life, the teaching I talked. Make use of your life the best way. And then way how to practice, he explained these things. It's amazing, you see, no? You cannot find like this in many others. There are some very elegant words. There's, you know, but when you come to the point, we don't find such a kind of, you know, really touching the basic reality. That's how Jigten Sumgön talked to his disciple. That's how many disciples gathered to him. In the history of Buddhists in Tibet, there's no one who gathered like Jigten Sumgön's disciple. That's why Chen-nga Sherab Jungne here tried to explain it, you see, no? He said this kind of teacher had not happened in the past, will not come in the future, not exist in other places, you know. So now he continues to say, now I said finish that. He possesses full understanding of all dependent here. Yesterday we went briefly on this. Of all dependent, interdependent, basically, dependent arisings. That's the Pati, the Samudra Pada. Actually, the translation of this is depending arising. Tenjin. Right now, this is depend on this table. Depend. Then it continues arising, depend more causes and conditions. So then here he said, depending arisings, outer, inner, and sacred. You see, as yesterday I mentioned briefly, you see, outer, the outer phenomena, like a farmer to harvest a good farm, need to depend on many causes and conditions. The ground, the field, well fertilized, in the right time, with the right climate. All those need to harvest a nice grain. Everything's dependent. Especially you cook, depends, no? What kind of item you have, how much skill you have. All this depend. No? So then, inner, our body, how to have our body, causes or conditions. It's not independent. We want all the good, but when we don't know the causes and conditions, then it falls apart. So we need to know all the causes and conditions, how to have this, our body to maintain. Secret, our mind. See? To maintain our mind in the right balance, we need all the causes and conditions. See? I want my mind peaceful, but when I go chase all the garbage, collecting all the garbage, how I can have peace? So I get rid of all the garbage, clean up my mind. No? Then I can expect to have some peace and happiness. This is how Jigten Sumgön realized first in the first place. We talk interdependent, Nagarjuna philosophy, interdependent, this and that, but never touch the reality. So look at just see outer interdependent, inner interdependent, secret interdependent, ultimate interdependent. Buddha's activities also depends on many causes and conditions. No? How Buddha attained Buddhahood through the realization of interdependent. So Buddha gathered all the causes and conditions to attain Buddhahood. Not just instant enlightenment, you know. That's why Jesus could produce such a great teacher like Chen-nga Sherab Jungne, many other great masters. And then he sent those disciples, you go to that place, you go to that place, you go to this place. And these each gathered hundreds and thousands of disciples each. No? As yesterday mentioned, so still, if you go to the other places in Tibet, border to Tibet, still you find some remaining of the Jigten Sumgön's followers, kind of say some leftover, some ruins of monasteries, or some are dying, some are not totally dead, some are transformed to other lineage, like this. Because in between, we did not have really good teacher like Jigten Sumgön. It's not over 800 years past. Still teaching is continuous, So we should appreciate, should understand what he taught, and we follow the footsteps, and we'll really get some benefit. Inspire. That's Buddha's teaching, how it brings the peace, happiness. It's not showing his miracle powers, he flew there, as mentioned, an European can flew, And see, as mentioned, you can call the internet just it's a miracle power, isn't it? You can imagine one day, nowadays, internet, email, all over the world, every day, how many? It will be countless, isn't it? And there's not so much traffic. It's amazing.